Hello and welcome back to Talking Comics. This is the series where I will go into the basic story of a comic without going into any major spoilers and talk about why I like it. Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol is great. It's definitely absurd, but goes into many topics. Topics like sexuality, gender, the idea of being an outsider in the world, death and trauma, and much more. Now, I do want to remind people these comics are old. Certain words used and depictions of characters have definitely aged, even though the comic has very progressive elements. If that's something that makes you unsure about getting the comic, then that's completely fine. This story takes place after the events of the original Doom Patrol. Though do note that if you haven't read those original stories, you might be missing out some factors. Though I know most people consider this story to be a okay jumping on point without reading the original stories straight away. Some Doom Patrol fans might disagree with me on that, and that is understandable. The members of this team are Robot Man, Rebus, Crazy Jane, Joshua, Chief, and Dorothy. Robot Man is a person who's stuck in a robot form, his brain being the only surviving thing of his human body after a car crash. It was then put into a robot body by the Chief to save his life. The comic heavily goes into Cliff's struggle, the fact that he has no nerves so he can't feel anything. He's stressed and tired. He doesn't want to be this robot, this weirdo or freak to the world, but he uses his robotic body to be a superhero and a member of the Doom Patrol. Rebus is a being composed of two people, one being Larry Traynor, aka the Negative Man, and the other being Eleanor. They were combined by the negative spirit and ended up as Rebus, a genderless being. Rebus is very sometimes cold as a character, though that's due to Rebus being someone who's clearly trying to figure out their place in the world and who they are. Crazy Jane is a character with DID, dissociative identity disorder, with her having 64 alters that each have their own powers that play into their personalities. She is a really good character, though I will say her story goes into really dark subject matter. The comic itself, even though having comedic moments of absurdity, can be quite dark when it goes into aspects such as trauma. Dorothy is a child with the powers to make her imaginary friends real. She is a great character and goes into a lot of things, and her power is really well done and very creatively used. Joshua and Chief are both members of the original Doom Patrol. Same goes for Robot Man. But Chief was the leader of the team. He was the one who brought them together as a group. The comic focuses on the team as they deal with strange and absurd villains, trying to save the world from any kind of strange danger, while also questioning their own selves and how they fit into the world as misfits. It goes into Robot Man and how he tries to slightly push away from this idea of being a misfit, even though he truly does care about the team. He struggles with the idea of Rebus wanting to be called Rebus, as he's always seen Rebus as Larry, so he constantly calls them Larry, even though Rebus doesn't like it. This is also kind of showing Robot Man's unacceptance to deal with his own change. The villains in this comic series can very much vary, but all of them are very much absurd and strange, but they're very entertaining. I don't want to fully go into who the villains are, because there's a lot of them. It might lead to me spoiling major plot points, but there's some really amazing villains in this, some being extremely entertaining. The overall art in the comic is really good, though it will change at times. Some of the artwork I like and some I didn't, but it didn't bother me too much. Though the main artist overall is Richard Case, who did the penciling for multiple issues of the series, and his art is really great. It works really well and has some very pleasing visuals, and the colours also really add to them. I really enjoy Doom Patrol. It is a great story and took the original team's idea of a superhero team of outcasts and added even more to that. It's a comic filled with a mix of emotions, from really decent absurd comedy to actually deep storytelling that is tragic and sad. Crazy Jane's story is a tragic one and downright hard to read because you can feel the pain she's dealt with from the writing alone. It just works deeply well. Rebus's strange but deeply intriguing story of going into their life and trying to figure out who they are is great. Them meeting with their friends who don't and can't recognize them anymore, either pushing them away completely or trying to use any word to pretend nothing has changed. A very clear message on how some families treat people who come out as LGBTQ+. Then there's characters I haven't even mentioned but go into all kinds of things. Doom Patrol is very open about what it's trying to discuss. It doesn't hide what it's trying to mean, but that's not a bad thing. The ending of Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, something that I won't spoil, but it's always been very rememberable to me. Its last couple words are something that truly stays with you, and I hope if you are questioning to read the story yourself, they will stick with you as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. I was quite nervous doing this video, still am, because I really want to sell to you how good this comic is, and I was slightly worried I couldn't do that. Anyway, if you liked this video, then I suggest clicking the like button, or maybe you hated it and that you want to dislike it. I have more YouTube videos on comics if you want to check those out. But yeah, thank you for watching, that's all, and goodbye.